Guys, we are live. Sorry about me, little walking around there, probably not actually hearing anything or doing anything. If we are live, I need to make sure that we are live because this is not working. Yes, looks like we are live. Give me 1 second. We are live. Sure that we are live because this is not working. Yes, looks like we are live. Give me 1 second. Cool. I need to mute myself because I can hear me. I see you. Thanks, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. How are we, guys? So weight loss, plateaus, and stools. First of all, if you're watching this live, I sincerely apologize I was late. I have absolutely zero excuses. I just wasn't prepared. Time absolutely flew out of my hands. And to be fair, I was there and I was like, I don't like this angle. This angle's better. So I decided to move everything over at like 5 minutes. Naughty me. Anyway, welcome along, guys, to this awesome live. I haven't really practiced this or anything. I don't practice them anyway. But dealing with plateaus and stools is one of the most common things that I hear people saying that they struggle with, right? Whether it's struggling overcoming it, whether it's emotionally. But I just wanted to address ways in which you can look at this and focus on this differently, but also how you can get out of that plateau and out of that stool. So just first of all, before we go on, I just want to jump in and say, hey, if you're struggling, book a call, like just book a call. So before we move on, before I'm going to give you all your details, I want you to reach out and start booking calls. I'm surprised with the amount of new members that we've got in this group, that people are actually scared to reach out and get free information. Hey guys, if you're struggling with weight loss and plateaus, jump on a call with me. What's going to happen is at the end of the call, you're going to decide if you want coaching or not. And if you don't, I'm going to give you 3 perfectly clear steps on where to go next, on what to do next, on how to approach your problems or issues, whether it's a weight loss plateau, whether it's a stool, whether it's something completely different. You're going to have 3 clear steps on what to do next. Okay, so at the very least, win-win. Anyway, so let's get into it. One of my first notes here is it is not, and it is important that you know that it is not all over if you've had a weight loss, plateau, or a stool. It does not mean that you are a failure, and it does not mean that you are going backwards. The only problem with weight loss and plateaus is when we create a problem around it, when we tell ourselves that there is a problem that we are not losing weight, or there is a problem that we are stalling. Weight loss, plateaus, and stools are so normal. It is so perfect to have one. Okay, and all it is basically just some data that's going to give you the right information of what you need to do next. Okay, so stools and plateaus are one of the most common parts of a weight loss journey, and this is always due to, well, one of 2 reasons. Okay, an actual, real, and I'll go into the definition of them, plateau or stool is probably due to metabolic adaptations and some other factors. Okay, so again, I'm going to go into explaining what this means in a little bit. But it is so perfectly normal if you're on a weight loss journey. God, I'm going to need to take this off. It is so perfectly normal if you're on a weight loss journey to expect and to see some form of non-budging going on with the scales. My clients, they see weight loss plateaus. They always get a plateau, okay, or a stool. Well, not actually a plateau because of the definition, what I'm going to explain in a minute, but they will always come to some sort of steady pace line on their weight loss chart, and they think they've got plateaus. It is so perfectly normal that if you didn't have it and you were on a weight loss journey, I would be incredible. Did you see that thing just floating past the screen? I would be incredible. It looked like an entire bloody feather. I don't know where that come from. Anyway, if you didn't see weight loss plateaus or stalls in your journey, I would be incredibly worried about your health. Like I said, what happens in a plateau or a stall is just basically your body needing to adapt. So it's so normal that non-linear progress is part of weight loss and should be part of your expectations for weight loss. So when you get to it, you're not disappointed, and that you have the patience to continue and push through. Very important. Okay. 1 week, okay, is not a plateau or stall. 1 week is not a plateau or stall. This is just probably your body getting to lose, your body getting ready to lose weight. It's probably your body wanting to fat dump. Okay. And what I mean by that is there's chemistry in your body that is setting you up to release that fat. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, this can happen. With strong changes to your lifestyle, to your diet, to your stress management, to your sleep, anything like that is going to have an impact on your weight. Okay. But when you get to a certain point, your body's like, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going on next? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? And it's that moment of hesitation, or weeks of hesitation, or even days of hesitation, that your body is wondering what's going to happen next, that it goes into protection mode. Okay. And what this means is chemistry in your body is ready. It's setting you up to release that fat. And what we need in that moment, right there, before it's like, okay, I'm about to go, I'm going to drop this weight, right there in that moment, that is when you need consistency. Right then and there, that is where you need that consistency. Because what happens when you don't is you are weighing yourself, you're looking at the scales and you're going, oh shit, it's been 2 weeks and I haven't lost any weight. Tell me, hands up, please put in the chat if you've ever felt like this. It's been like 2 weeks and I haven't lost any weight. Oh crap. What's going on here is you're saying to yourself, haven't lost any weight, haven't done well enough, I was rubbish, I'm not going to be able to do this. How long is this going to last for? This sucks. This is annoying. I thought I was good, right? All of these things are going on in your mind. But what's going on in your body is your body's going, okay, are we going to change anything? Is anything going to change? Because I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to lose this fat, but I just need to make sure that we are protected. I need to make sure that we are safe. Can you see the difference in the conversations there, right? Your body is doing chemistry. Your body is literally changing from the inside out. It is developing and understanding and learning patterns, right? So for example, if you are doing something consistently, it goes, oh, okay, this is our new level of being. This is our new way of operating. Cool. Now I know that it's our new way of operating. I know we're safe. I know we're not just starving ourselves, for an example. Now I can drop the weight. So let's take it back to those 2 conversations. You've got those 2 conversations. Your body is going, hang on, I just need to make sure it's safe. Just need to look around the corner. You know, I just need I just need to know that we're doing this. Okay, it's okay. I'm not going to go into starvation mode and then overeating. I just need to make sure. But emotionally in your body, you're in your head, you're going, this means I'm shit. I can't lose weight. I'm struggling with this. How long am I going to lose weight? How long is it going to be? This is annoying. I thought I did really well. All of this shit is starting to load up in your head. The difference being you're ready and you can't wait. The thing is this happens all the time to every single person that I coach. It has happened at least once. So whether you think that it's going on or you think, oh yeah, but I'm a different case, I'm different, you know, I see plateaus all the time. After this video, if you don't follow every single thing that I talk about, and you say, I'm always experiencing plateaus, this is just me, then we need to have a chat. I didn't know where I was going with that, but we need to have a chat. Anyway, so what happens then, right? 2 weeks in, you weigh the same, start loading up all this crap, emotional crap in your head. You make it mean something that it's not. right? You're making it mean that you can't do this new weight loss system. You can't stick to this diet. You can't do this because you're not losing weight every week. You make it mean this, but when actual fact, your body just needs time to adjust. Then what happens? And usually what happens is you go into fuck it mode. What I mean by this is stand on the scale, you see that it's the same 2 weeks in a row, you load up all this mental and emotional crap. Well, I'm just going to have a bigger dinner today. Well, I'm just going to get a takeaway, treat myself, because do you know what? It's not working. Oh, I'm just going to have a couple of bites of dessert today because, you know, I'm annoyed, I'm depressed, I'm upset, I'm anxious, I'm never going to lose this weight. Or the opposite is true. And you go, oh, well, I'm never losing this weight. It's never going to come off. I might as well starve myself. I'm not going to have dinner. I'm going to punish myself. Either way, I've seen either way. But what happens is then your emotions take over. Your emotional state takes over. And then you sabotage the weight loss that was about to happen. But you just needed to give yourself a few more weeks, or even a few more days, or even a few more hours. Right? You don't know how close your body is to releasing that weight if you're remaining consistent. And that's something that we'll talk about as well today. So don't sabotage your body that's about to drop weight, because now if you then sabotage just before your body is about ready to drop that fat, then you go straight back to where you were months ago, where your body doesn't trust this new way of operating. Because habitually, what's happened is you get to a place and then you overeat, or you get into starvation mode, or whatever diet restriction or overeating or excess calorie consumption, whatever it is that you have been doing, then your body then starts thinking about that last time, and that's exactly what's happening again. So you just need to undo that for another few months. But that's another few months you're adding on to your weight loss journey, just because you sabotaged what your body was about to do because you just wanted it quicker. Let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if this is hitting home. Does it make sense? Vicky, booking a call in September. Do you know what? I thought you just said that, but I'm glad we're going to have a chat in September. So your body will lose weight when it wants to, but not when your emotional brain wants it to. Just think, your body doesn't think with emotions, your brain does, you do. Think of them as slightly separate entities. Your body isn't storing, it is storing emotion, but your body isn't making this weight loss mean that it's a bad thing. It's not making it, it's not needing to punish itself or reward itself. That's your emotional thinking. Your brain's like, right, I need X, Y, Z for this amount of time, and I need it to be perfect, so I know that I am safe. That is how your body operates. Stop sabotaging it before it's ready. Your body is ready when your body is ready, not when you want it to be. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that hits home. So, what is a real plateau? What is a real stall? Let's say 6 weeks. Yep. 6 weeks. But I'm talking 6 weeks of, and this is really important for me to emphasize, solid consistency, being on plan. And I freaking mean that. I mean that so hard, that a real plateau and a real stall is 6 months of nothing on the scale changing when you are making solid, consistent, when you are making consistent or taking consistent action. Wow, words, hello. Right? Consistency and everything on plan. I'm talking about everything that we talk about. If you're new here, let me know and I can direct you to some other videos. The basics, the fundamentals that you need to get in place for weight loss before you start doing anything crazy or any other random rules. You need your basics. That's water, movement, listening to your hunger, listening to your fullness, stress management and sleep. They are your basic fundamentals, right? If you are nailing that for 6 weeks and you can honestly say, I have completely and utterly done it, Bianca, 1000%, then you are on a plateau or stool. 99.9% of the time, people are not on a plateau or stool because they cannot say that this is the God's honest truth. Trying hard. I've been trying hard for 4 weeks. Oh, but I've been pretty good for 4 weeks. I've been pretty good for 4 weeks. Well, I feel I've done really well. I should get this result. I should be on this result. This is not consistency, right? This is not talks of someone who has actually been consistent. I've tried really hard. Well, I've done pretty good. I feel like I've done well, right? This is not the vocabulary that I would ever listen or hear from someone who genuinely has stuck to their plan 1000%. Okay. And I'm not here to point and shame and tell you that you've done badly. I'm just saying it's not a plateau or stool. And I will explain why in just a second, because why is really, really important. So stay with me. But this is not the vocabulary of someone who's genuine. Okay. A little bit won't hurt. You know, the trying hard. What about when you're not trying? What's going on there? A little bit won't hurt. This kind of vocabulary generally pairs with the sort of vocabulary that the person who says that they felt like they were doing well, or that they were trying hard, or that they were pretty good. This is all the same kind of talk from the same person. But a little bit won't hurt is extremely detrimental to what the scales are going to say. Okay. Now, it is also extremely detrimental to your emotional state. Why? Because it allows you to develop a habit of accepting, of normalizing, of justifying, of tolerating overeating. Regardless of whether you are overweight or not, when we overeat, we are not doing our body justice. Regardless of whether you overeat quinoa and fucking kale, you are overeating for your body's nutritional needs. And that will be stored as fat. Just is. Okay. So just saying to yourself, a little bit won't hurt is extremely detrimental, because that normalizes overeating. Overeating is a behavior that we no longer want to justify or tolerate, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. We do not want to justify or tolerate this kind of thinking, this behavior. Okay, because then it's a little bit won't hurt. Then the next week it's, oh, just a bite here, it's okay. We are normalizing and kind of neutralizing the fact that we are using food to cope. Okay. Now, you're not a bad person for overeating. Sometimes I overeat, but stop justifying overeating. It's not okay. It's not okay for your body or for your mental state. If you're on a stool, a weight loss stool, and you're giving yourself these types of leniencies, you're not on a stool or a plateau. You are in maintenance. And this is why I was saying to you about how, if you can honestly say that after 6 weeks of solid consistency, right, or that you haven't had 6 weeks of solid consistency, then what you're doing is not being in a plateau, it's not being in a stool, you are eating for maintenance. So you are literally living and eating for the weight that you are. You are not doing anything to be a lighter weight. You are doing everything to be the same weight. So you need to make sure, Do I want to continue losing weight, or do I want to maintain? If I want to maintain, you carry on doing exactly what you're doing then. Maybe having a little bit here, a little bit there, a taste here, a lick here, a try there, an extra bite here, maybe a dessert once in a while, whatever it is. And I use these inverted commas. I don't mean to look rude or be mean or anything. It's just like the vocabulary that you're using, right? Whatever it is that you're doing in that moment, or for those weeks of maintenance, that is exactly what you're doing, is you're being in a maintenance. Now, my maintenance to me, I was actually talking to a client this morning, my maintenance to me is anywhere between 62 and 65. If I'm over that or under that, I know that my habits have changed. Maybe I'm emotionally eating or something like that, and I can pick that up. My maintenance is 63 to 65, let's be fair. 2 kg difference. If I fluctuate out of that, then I know that something has changed. That's my maintenance. And my maintenance is a little leniency here, a little leniency there, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? But it's whole foods mainly all the time. I know my maintenance because I live it. So, real plateaus and stools. Let's say you are still stuck in a real plateau or stool. Or let's say you're listening to this and you're like, ah, screw you, Bianca. You don't know what you mean. I'm in a real plateau. I'm in a real stool. Whatever it is, listen up, because I've got some tips for you. So the thinner version of you needs to reassess her habits, okay? So if you're in a genuine plateau or stool, what's probably happened is that your body is now, it's released the weight that it wants to. And now, again, what you're doing in this plateau or stool is you're eating and living in a maintenance. You're eating and living for maintenance. So this thinner version of you now needs a little bit less or a little bit more of particular things, a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of dialing up for you to carry on dropping that weight. Okay, so just think, whatever you're doing at the moment, if you want to be lighter, if you want to be thinner, then she needs to have slightly different habits. Whether you drink an extra 500 ml a day of water, whether you leave a few bites behind on your plate, whether you add more healthy fats to your diet, right? Whatever it is, just think, does this thinner version of me need to now adapt her habits to continue to lose weight? Tip number 1. Tip number 2 is just be careful. I've already mentioned, but be careful of the little bit here and the justs and the little bites. It's just a taste. It's just a snack. It's just a handful of nuts. It's just a little bite here. I'm just trying my kids' mac and cheese, whatever it is. These add up. And holy cow, do they add up over the week, over the month? Let's say over a month, 3 weeks, you've got a plateau or a stool, or you're not shifting weight. That could be down to the 1 or 2 little bit here, just little bites that you're having once a week or every day. You might not realize it, but these add up to monumental amounts. You could be consuming an extra meal a day and not realize it. You could be consuming an extra meal a week and not realize it. Either way, that's overeating. You can mix up your foods. Tip number 3 is mix up your foods. So your body gets used to the same old crap, right? I always talk about my 7-day meal plan, my paid 28-day meal plan. They are specifically designed for weight loss, for variety. And not only variety because I want to make sure that you live a healthy, whole foods, plant-based diet without ever needing supplements, but also because your body is going to get used to the same old crap, eating the same old thing, and it needs variety. Your body is going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. What is this green? I haven't seen this in a while. Who are you? And it's going to need to burn a little bit harder to burn it off, or to process it, or to metabolize all of the nutrients. So that your body craves and needs that variety in order to continue losing weight, right? Another tip for you is drink more water. Yes, water, and adjust your water according to general temperature. Is your bedroom or your office or the car, is it a hotter temperature? Because even just that little bit of extra heat is going to dehydrate you a little bit more. So if you have a 2-liter target every single day, and it's a hotter day today than it was yesterday, you're going to need probably 2.1 liters today, or 2.5 liters, or 3 liters, right? So if it's warm, add more water. If you exercise, add more water. If you want to burn more fat, add more water. Your body will burn more fat when it's hydrated well, okay? Because it means that it can operate properly. A well-hydrated body means that it operates properly. So let's conclude. I've got a couple more tips for you. Oh, I just looked through my notes and it's not a couple more tips, it's a lot more. Okay, so my conclusion was a little bit longer than I anticipated. I think this is just rolling on from my total tip. So to conclude, not to conclude, but be brutally freaking honest with yourself, okay? You're going to need to be honest with yourself. This is the first step to getting out and breaking free of this plateau or store, is to be brutally honest with yourself. Are you being consistent? Yes, it's been 6 weeks of absolutely no overeating, Bianca. I'm consistent with my water, my sleep, my food consumption, my nutrition, my stress management. I am absolutely hot on it like a car bonnet. There is absolutely, what is all this crap moving across the screen? There is absolutely no way, no reason whatsoever for me to be here. Okay, cool. Then I want you to look at what you can improve. What can you adjust? Can you leave a few bites behind? Can you add in a different vegetable, a different grain, a different fat, a different dressing? Can you swap them around? Can you change up what you're eating so you're eating completely different things? Can you add more water in there? Can you sleep more? Can you exercise and move your body in a different way, right? What can you change? What can you improve? If you can't say that you can be brutally honest and that you were 1,000% consistent for 6 weeks, don't forget you're eating for maintenance. You're living for maintenance. So you need to decide then and there, is this where the train stops? Or do I actually want a different result? Okay, so if you want to continue eating for maintenance, then do that. And do what you're doing. If you want to lose weight, then go back to the first step. Start practicing, start changing. Start improving. When you don't lose weight, don't get angry, because this will generally lead to an overeat. And then you end up claiming that you're in a plateau or a stall, right? The most common thought is, oh, fuck this. Oh, this is just so much effort. I tell you what, we're going to get takeaway, or we're going to eat what the kids want to eat. We're going to eat what my husband wants to eat. And tomorrow I'm going to start again. Starts tomorrow. Starts tomorrow. Tell me in the comments if you've ever said it will start tomorrow. Because you are just adding another day, another week, another month, another year to your goals. You are making it harder for yourself. And don't forget, every time you push that boundary, it'll be tomorrow. It'll start tomorrow. It'll start tomorrow. Every time you push that boundary, you're not only undoing an extra week, an extra day, an extra year's worth of work, you're adding an extra day, year, month's worth of work to your habits. So you're then actually going to have to work twice as hard. So for every day of bad habits, you're probably going to have to work like an extra 2 or 3 days harder to undo that habit, right? It's harder to rewire than it is to create. So every time you say, I'm just going to start tomorrow, maybe every time you look at the scale and it's not budged, or it's not the way that you want it to, and you say, screw it, I'm just going to have this. That is another few days, that is another few weeks or months of undoing and rewiring that thought pattern, that reward punishment cycle pattern. It doesn't work with food because it only gets you in a worse place. Be very mindful. This is a really, really cool tip. Be very mindful of innocent accidentals. So innocent accidentals, these are things that I say to my clients, and they're like, oh, I didn't think about that. It's an innocent accidental, right? So kind of like secret little things that is gonna keep you from losing weight that you probably didn't realize. So your snacks, I mean, that's not really necessarily secret, but you're snacking. If you have a snack in between breakfast and lunch and dinner, and then maybe after dinner, this is some serious calories adding up. Now, me and my clients, we don't talk calories. We just listen to what our body is saying. However, if you're unable to exactly listen to your body, which is probably where you're at if you're in a plateau or stool, then you're probably overeating at some stage, and that could be the snacks. Nuts or trail mix, these are so easy to overeat. The calories are high because they are high in natural fats. So that means eating 1 palm of almonds or peanuts or trail mix is probably the equivalent of eating maybe 2 or 3 broccoli for calorie consumption. Okay, so just be very mindful. Nuts and trail mix, you do want to only limit them to 1 handful as a serving size. Okay, then of course peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, they are all still nuts, so just be mindful that the butters are still the whole version, so you still only want a small bit. Cheeses, especially vegan cheeses, so whether you're plant-based or not, cheese is pretty much fat. So the plant-based cheeses or the vegan cheeses out there are actually, if you look at the back, usually potato starch, so not the good stuff, and coconut oil. So still not the good stuff because it's oil. Leading on to my next point, oil. Okay, so these are kind of what I can always pinpoint as innocent accidentals, is an overconsumption accidentally of snacks, nuts, trail mix, nut butters, cheese, and oils. Now, oils, just to let you know, are 100% fat. I do not necessarily recommend them. I think they can be consumed if you're in a maintenance, eating for a maintenance, and in very, very minuscule amounts, very tiny amounts. But other than that, I don't see any point in them. In fact, I don't see any point in them at all, unless you're using them for outside your skin. Whether that's coconut oil, olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, is still 100% fat. And what happens with 100% fat is it generally gets pushed straight to the arteries. Still not that great. So what you can do with your innocent accidentals is actually measure these out for a few weeks, right? So we're not counting calories for the rest of our life. We're just measuring them out for a few weeks, just to learn what the serving size really looks like, feels like, tastes like from an educational point of view. We are not being anal, we are not being stupid, we're not being annoying, this is not being time consuming. It is simply an educational tool. Just be open to learning about what these things look like. So then you don't have to keep measuring them or wondering why your body is not changing when you're accidentally, innocently, or naively, if you'd refuse to measure them for a few weeks, not changing. Okay. Another point that I'd like to make is track your food by writing everything that you want to eat at the start of the day and everything you ate at the end of that day. I want you to know, if you're not using a food journal already, there's probably a reason why you're not. It's up here, it's emotional. There's something that you don't want to face. There's something that you don't want to admit, or there's something you're just embarrassed about realizing. I want you to write down every single bite, lick, snack, taste of anything, and you'll be surprised by how much that adds up. If you have an Oreo that's 80 calories, a digestive biscuit is like 80, 90 calories. Oh, it's just a biscuit, it's just this. Imagine a biscuit and a bite of a tablespoon of mac and cheese because you're trying it while you cook. That is overeating. Yes, to a small extent, but the small extents add up to big extents, right? Make sure that you're actually logging these things, because you'll be really, really surprised with how these extra little bits add up. An honest food log will be your honest friend. You know, that one friend who has no filter, that one friend who you can trust to be honest. That's your food log. If you're utterly and completely honest with yourself, your food log will be honest with you back, and you will be able to pinpoint and realize exactly what's going wrong and where. And the best thing about it is you can take your food log to me and be like, hey, Bianca, I'm on a plateau or store and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing everything consistently. Can you look at my food? Where's my innocentals? Where's my innocent accidentals? What am I doing by mistake? What am I not seeing? What am I not getting? Right? That's the good thing about tracking, is you can then bring it to someone and here you've got a shit ton of data to analyze and go, oh, cool, that's what it is. Otherwise, we can sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks batting around the wrong bush. So, as I mentioned as well, is you can also help a plateau and stool by just improving things by 1%. So I'm talking about leave a few more bites behind. If you don't already leave a few bites on the plate, leave a few more. Make sure that you're eating and stopping before you feel full. This is the key. Make sure you stop before you feel full. Drink more water, 1% more water, right? Get comfortable in feeling slight hunger. You're not going to starve to death. If you are watching this video, you have internet abilities, you have time, you literally do have the ability to feel slight hunger without starving to death, right? The only way that you will starve to death is if you're in a different country, probably with no access to Wi-Fi, or you are left out stranded, which you obviously wouldn't be watching this video. Think about it. If you're sat here watching this video, you will not starve to death. And I only say that for the minority of people who have that fear when they go into hunger, when they feel that hunger, probably from previous trauma, diet trauma, but I just want to address that while we're here. 1%, get a bit more sleep. Do you get 6 hours sleep? Try and get 7. Do you get 7? Get 7.5. You'd be surprised by how much getting a little bit more sleep, getting a little bit more intentional rest can actually help. Maybe add a different type of movement. Do you go to CrossFit 4 times a day, or in heavy, intense exercise 4 times a day? Then do a low impact sport on the 5th day, maybe yoga or walking. Just add in something different or change it up. Also, add in something different or change up your nutrition, your food. This is going to be one of my last big points, guys. This is a huge one, so just make sure you stay tuned for another 2 minutes. You need to set your expectations and plans for the day that you weigh yourself. If you weigh yourself every day, stop weighing yourself every fucking day. Weigh yourself once a day. Set your expectations and plans for the day that you weigh yourself. Go in knowing exactly what you're going to think, regardless of the situation. Have an exact plan set out for the rest of the day, for the evening, of what food you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, when you're going to bed, so you don't emotionally sabotage your potential fat dump that your body is about to do. Do you remember at the start of the call, this video, I told you that your body is probably about to dump that fat, saying, hey, I just need to make sure, hang on there. I just need to make sure that we're safe before I dump this fat, because otherwise we might need it for storage. We might need it to live, to be able to save our lives. It might be literally life-saving. So give me a minute, right? Your body's doing that while you're going, stupid body, doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm useless. I failed all other diets, right? While you're doing that. So while you're in that emotional state, you need an exact plan, especially if you're one to know that you will punish or reward yourself after weighing yourself on the scale. If your actions are determined by what the scale does, or your then emotional state is determined by what the scale says, then you need an exact plan set out. I'm talking the food, the water, the time that you're going to sleep, everything. Figure out exactly what your next steps are after you weigh in, with all three circumstances: a loss, a maintenance, a gain. You need to train your brain to think a productive and factual based thought after your weigh in, instead of being emotionally charged and telling yourself that you're a bad person, you're a catastrophe, you're shit, you're rubbish at dieting, right? So what we're looking at is just training your brain to go, okay, it was a gain. That is because I did X, Y, Z. Next week, I can improve X by doing this, Y by doing this, Z by doing this. Cool. Okay. Got a plan for next week. That's it, right? What usually happens is people go, oh my God, I've gained weight. This is so hard. I don't know how long it's going to be. And then all of a sudden your mood just deteriorates. Before you know it, you've not moved your body because you're feeling low. Maybe your mood is low. Everything else just gets down. Everything gets slow. You then possibly even lean to food. Do you see the difference? So you really, really need to train your brain to go, right, okay, if it's a gain, this is what I'm going to do. If it's a maintenance, this is what I'm going to do. If it's a loss, this is what I'm going to continue and keep doing. You know in yourself exactly what you've done wrong, or exactly what you didn't do as well as you could have. We know this. We don't need a check-in with a health coach to understand and assess our week. Right? Nobody here, if you're watching this video, you are not stupid and you cannot assess your own week. You cannot not assess your own week. You can all do that. And I know you can. It's just a willingness to do so. Finally, know that feeling like shit is your exact gateway to putting weight on after a stool and plateau. You cannot let your emotional state determine what your next outcome is. You cannot let your emotional state from a weight loss or plateau every single time you weigh yourself determine another plateau or a gain the following week. Because otherwise you're going to be keeping with the same old shit cycle, seeing the same old results. I would love to hear your thoughts on this session today, if you've made it all the way through. It's a long one. I didn't expect it to be a long one. I thought it was going to be a fast one, but I really do hope this has helped. Please comment below. Vicky, I know that you're with us. I know that you're going to be booking a call next month, so I look forward to that. I know you've got a few things to get out of the way before you jump on a call. I'm super excited, guys. Make sure you book a call. If anything, you're going to walk away with 3 clear steps on what you can do next. If coaching's not for you, then it's not for you. So be it. But at least I can help you gain clarity of where to go next. All right, guys. Love you and leave you. Take care. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.